Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing an honest first month of school update. Just kind of let you know how everything has been going for us, what's been working, what isn't working, what we've changed, just all those kinds of things. So if you're interested in that kind of content or other homeschool content, please remember to subscribe and let's get into this video. Okay, so we're gonna just dive right in. I have my notes right here, so if I'm glancing down, looking at them, it's because I don't want to forget anything. But I'm really excited to share the things that have been working well for us. We're gonna start there because that's the majority of what I have to share. This first month has gone pretty darn well. I feel like better than most first months of school. And I am just really grateful that it's gone well, especially since I was sick for several weeks of it. And so it was a little bit harder for me to do like read alouds and stuff because then I just wanted to cough and then throw up. So anyways, besides that, it's been going pretty well. So I'm still a little bit nasally. I have a little bit of a cough, so I'm sorry, but life has to go on. So we have to get things done. So this is what we get. But we're just gonna jump right in and talk about some things that have been working well. So the first thing is our homeschool setup. I've really liked it. If you missed my whole remodel of the homeschool room, I'll make sure the video is linked down below or put it up here so that you can check that out. But it's been working really well. We used to have separate desks and now we just have a big table. I really like gathering around it. It just has been so good, I feel like. I don't know, I feel like when the kids need help, I'm just right there. And before I thought desks would be better because they'd be separated, but it was a little bit harder for me to pay attention to what everybody's needs were. Whereas now it's a little bit easier. And I love doing our group work or morning basket time. I switched it. We used to do it after everyone finished their individual work. So it was basically like, okay, you start school at 9 o'clock, we're done by 11, then we do group work at 11 o'clock for like an hour. But then it was just really hard to make sure everyone was done. And then if they were completely done early, they moved on to something else. So interrupting that was hard. And so I had seen so many people that just do it first. So I was like, let's just do it first. And we mostly have done that. We've had doctor's appointments and things that interrupt that a little bit. But for the most part, we've been able to do that and it's been fine. It's been great, actually, not just fine. It's been really good. And I just enjoy that sit down time with them because now it's more focused. Before it was like, okay, hurry, we're gonna eat lunch, all these things, and we're trying to get through it. And now it's just a very focused, fun time for us. And mostly with just my 3 kids because my youngest is going to preschool just a couple days a week. And so most days we do our group work when she's not here, which is sometimes really nice because I don't have to find little tasks to occupy her little toddler hands, right? She's not really a toddler, but she is, you know, she's 4, but still, I don't consider her a toddler anymore. Anyway, so it's been a really good time and we've had more focused read aloud time because we have focused group work time. So we're actually like getting through books and just having a good time discussing them. I don't know what it is about a table, but sitting around a table just opens up everything to more discussion. And I just have really loved that. Something else that I've really been loving that's been working well for us is the Good and the Beautiful history curriculum. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about it and I had never used any of their curriculum before this year, and now I feel like we're using a ton and I am really loving their history curriculum. It's been a lot of fun for my kids. They've loved the read aloud we're doing with it, and we're just doing the first level or number 1. I don't know how it's the first one. That's what we're doing. And so it starts in the Bible and goes through some scriptures, you know, because that's like the beginning of history. And then we're in ancient Egypt right now, which is what our read aloud focuses on, is ancient Egypt. But the other day I was reading the book and it got to a more tense part and he's like, my son, my oldest, is like, you can't stop reading right now. You have to keep going. And so we kept reading. So they were just very excited and I just feel like it's been really good. It's very simple, but it's a lot of fun. It doesn't take very long to go through the lessons and sometimes they have like an activity page with it and sometimes they don't. But all in all, it's just been a very good, like simple thing for us to be able to do. And we really enjoyed it. And so I, so far, have really good feelings about the Good and the Beautiful history curriculum. So if you were on the fence about it, so far I think it's really good. And sorry if my lighting's like all over the place today, like this. I'm like so crazy right now. I'm so tired, so I have to be like crazy so that we can make it through this video. But it's been stormy. It snowed 12 inches here the other day. And so it's mostly melted now, but it's been overcast all week. So the lighting, since I just rely on natural light, is all over the place. So please forgive me for it being like that. But what else did I wanted to say? Oh yes, what else did, I don't even know if I'm making any sense, but that's fine. We just blame everything right now on me being pregnant because I feel like I'm losing my mind, but it's okay. I really enjoyed our Friday schedule. If you haven't seen like our new Friday schedule, you can check out my planning video, my fall planning video. So I'll link that down below, but it's really, really been good for us. So I should have pulled it. It's right up here, up there if you can't see it. Anyways, I should have pulled it down so I could go through what exactly it says. But basically we go hiking one Friday. We would go hiking more than that, but we have one Friday every single month. We try to do a hike and then maybe some watercolor. And then this first and third Fridays, I think we do game schooling and some sort of art project and maybe bake something. It'll just kind of depend what we're focusing on. So it's more of our seasonal focus is our Fridays. And it's just been easier that way because I became so overwhelmed with trying to get all the things done every single day that I felt like we got nothing done and I was super stressed out about it. So Fridays being more of that seasonal focus or reading books about fall or apples or making something with apples, you know, has just been better. And then the fourth Friday, we're doing lemonade time, which is our version of tea time, since we don't drink tea. But we had our first one just last week, I think, and it was so much fun. My kids really enjoyed it. We made some healthy snacks and some not as healthy snacks. And I sat there and did our Friday group work stuff and read to them, and they just ate a lot of food. Probably too much food, but it was just a lot of fun. And we just really had a good time doing it. And we made some apple cider, we doctored up some apple cider with some spices. So that was our drink for that. And it was just a really good time. So our Friday schedule has been working well for us, which I'm just very grateful. I just feel I have a lot of curriculum that I really love right now that we're using, which I think makes homeschool even better when it's actually working well, right? Otherwise, it's just frustrating. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention that's been working well is chore charts and clipboards. So growing up, I never really had a set chore chart. You know, it was kind of just expected if mom needed something, then we would do it. And that was fine. Like we kept everything in order and it worked well. And I still do that with my kids, but I also wanted some set things, especially because there was a lot of chores. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this, or I don't have time to do all these things, but this would be a good thing for my kids to be doing. So I adopted a few different things. So I took some stuff from Ashley from Grace and Grit, some ideas she has, because she has her kids do a chore every single morning. And so we started doing that every single morning. I have chores assigned, which is also again up on this board. Some of them are to pull a chore from the jar. So I have a chore jar, and so they might pull a chore from that. But other days are assigned. So they each have a day they unload the dishwasher and things like that. And then they go and do those chores. But then they also, this is from Jordan Page. And she's also here on YouTube, but she's doing a lot more on Instagram at the moment. But this is her clipboard system, and this is a free download that she has. And you can, obviously you can change it if these things don't apply to you, but it just has simple things like make your bed, say your prayers, put laundry away. So we only do laundry once a week. So this really only applies to that. But if my kids have clothes on their floor, then they can check that off for that. Do your zone. So she assigns her kids an area to make sure it's clean by the end of the day. We haven't implemented that yet because we're still getting used to just having this clipboard. But then exercise. So my kids will do some additional exercise. So we might go outside and play. They might ride their bikes. Something a little bit more focused than just playtime. They will walk on the treadmill because they just think that's a load of fun. I don't know. And so they've done a few different things for exercise and then making sure their chores are done. And then school. So this is outside of our normal school stuff that we're doing. They're supposed to read 30 minutes. So this is kind of where in my older kids it works better because they can just do their they can just go read their own thing. My younger kids, it's a little bit harder. Sorry, the glare is for real, guys. Anyway, they have journal, which we again haven't started. We started a big bulk of things, but there's other things we're just kind of slowly trying to put in. And then piano or voice lessons. So they all do some sort of music. So practicing for that is on there. And then Spanish, and then my oldest does Japanese. So this is usually either they have their Spanish lesson online with the Homeschool Spanish Academy, or my husband does flashcards with them on the computer, so he'll review everything because he speaks a lot of these languages and I do not. So it's a lot easier for him to practice with them. And then there's some blank spots for other things you might want them to do. And then a cooking day, which again, we haven't fully implemented, but you can have a day where they cook or they at least help you cook. And it's just been working so well. My kids, even my 4-year-old, she'll walk around with this and her little pen and just like, what do I need to check off? And it's so cute. She's just very excited about it. And so I just have really loved how well it's been working, and they generally do not complain. Like most of the time they're like fine with doing it. They just do it. And as they get more used to it, you know, it'll become even easier to do all those things. Okay, so let's move on to things that aren't working as well or things that we've changed. So the first thing is spelling. We didn't change it. I just feel like it's not working well. So I have 2 different types of spelling. So this is spelling you see. This I just pulled from my daughter that's 8, her spelling. And I don't know, we've been doing this for a few years. Spelling is hard for me. It's not like I can spell words. So that's not what I mean. I feel like it's just a hard, so math and reading are a little bit easier curriculums for me to be like, oh, I really love this. Everything else is always just like, I don't know if I ever really love it or if I found something that really works well for us. And I think that's the hard part. I just feel like I don't have something that I just really love that much. And so it's a struggle bus all the time. So she does this, and I also have this for my 6-year-old, but my older son was not doing well with this. So we've been trying to reason for spelling, which is a little bit more list view. So this one, they just are working on a passage, and then by the end of the week, you recite it to them and they have to write it. So they practice every day writing some of it, and then you dictate it to them at the end of the week, and they should be able to do some of it. It has harder words, which is nice. Like it's using words in context instead of just words that are random kind of. Whereas this has the spelling list and goes through some activities, but neither of them I love very much. So sometimes when we don't get to it, I'm like, I don't care on a daily basis, which is horrible. So if you have spelling that you just love, please let me know. I know a lot of people love spelling you see. I like it, but I don't know. I just am having a hard time with spelling. Hopefully it's not just me. I don't know. It's not like I enjoyed spelling and I enjoy the activities associated with spelling lists and stuff like that. But at the same time, I want something that's very minimal work for me, which both of these basically are. But I don't know. If you have suggestions for me, I'm open to them because it's kind of a sticking point right now for me. And then the other thing that we did change was math. So when I saw the Good and the Beautiful had their new math curriculum, I was like, okay, we're gonna try this, because my 3rd grader, she was struggling a little bit. We were doing the Moffat Girls math, which I really do love, but it's a little less structured and not as like clear cut on what you're supposed to be learning and all that kind of stuff, and not as you have to plan how you want to do a review, where this plans it for you and it's great. So in here for the lessons, let me show you something she hasn't filled out yet. But so it has a lesson. They're all about 4 pages long in this book. And then it has a whole bunch of review activities. So this is the part, like I love the whole thing, but I really love the review activities because it helps her remember what she's been learning already instead of just forgetting it, or me having to find a way myself when I don't necessarily have a lot of time to do that, to make sure she's reviewing it. And I probably will do a more in-depth review of this math curriculum in the next month or 2. And so if you want to know more details, look forward for that, or look towards that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, and then we started doing the Moffat Girls with my first grader, and it was going okay, except it's way too easy for him. And so I was gonna jump him to second grade, which we did for a few days, but I was still like, oh, I just really am loving the good and the beautiful math. And so I went on and bought second grade math for him. So he's a first grader, but math comes very, very naturally to him. Out of all my kids, he's probably the one that comes the most naturally to. So we have been working through this, and this is a little bit too easy for him so far, but it's only about 2 or 3 pages, whereas the third grade math is closer to 3 or 4 pages a day. But I really loved it, and I didn't bring out the little kits that come with them, the little manipulative stuff, but they love those as well. And so this has just been something that's been going well for us, but it's also something we changed, something that was a sticking point those first few weeks of school, and it just needed to be something different. And my daughter, even though the math still takes a while and it's still a little bit of a struggle, she rarely complains about it anymore, which she was complaining all the time before. And so I think part of it too is she can see exactly what she needs to do here, and then she gets to review some stuff, which is nice for her because that's usually stuff that's a little easier for her to do than just always having brand new math curriculum for her to focus on. So it's been good, but it was a struggle, which is why we did that. And again, my son, we had to change it because it was just way too easy for him to do first grade math. So I think that's totally fine. Like if you have to jump your kids up or you have to slow down, do it, because it makes it so much more fun for everyone if everyone's enjoying it, right? So just change the math. Okay, well that's kind of an honest check-in of our first month of school. I hope it made sense. My brain's a little bit scattered, so hopefully it all made sense. I'll link some of these products down below. And some of the videos I mentioned, I'll link those down below as well. So if you're interested in checking those out, make sure you check the description box down below. And I think that's about all. So if you enjoyed seeing this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.